The Monstrous Playbook is an adventure podcast for grown-ups. It contains violence and profanity and deals with adult themes that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, a real play Monster of the Week podcast where at this point, the characters are getting jealous of their players. Everybody seems to just want a normal life. Well, tough. On this episode of The Cover Story, the hunters have a chance to take down the Dagger, but to do it, they'll have to make their case to a jury of her peers. What kind of peers could a supernatural crime boss have? Meanwhile, Theo finds out a little more about what's going on with her, and everybody gets a hint on why so many things inexplicably went right a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, classic good news, bad news.
I'm John, and I play Mark Clayton.
I'm Lauren, and I play Kira and Anna Ashwood.
I'm Miah, and I play Casey Davis and Theo Nessos.
I'm Johnny, and I play literally everybody else, so here we go. So, Lauren, you are taking one of those advanced level ups, which lets you switch to a different playbook.
Yes, I did. So I am actually changing my playbook from the Chosen to the Initiate, which is, I'm sure that bodes well for Pharmacultist.
It's going to be great.
It's great.
Who but you would know?
True. So as far as moves that I took for the level ups, I took that Old Blood Magic, which is when you use magic, you can ask a question from Investiry as your effect. Helping Hand, which is when you successfully help out another hunter, they get a +2 instead of the usual +1. And then I also took Ancient Fighting Arts from her, I imagine from her old cult days fighting with Donovan. She was quite a skilled fighter. And so when she uses an old-fashioned hand weapon, I inflict +1 harm and get +1 whenever I roll Protect someone. And then also because of how we level up things, I did get rid of...
Were there any you got rid of? Yes.
Yes, I did get rid of my boss from Beyond because I haven't done that in a while. I kind of wasn't listening to the creator, which is probably a good thing. And so I discarded that, and I also took Mystic. So every time you successfully use magic, you can take +1 forward.
Okay.
But other than that, other things to know.
Other than that, I'm just the same old...
Same old. My initiate, the sect that I am part of is Dawnbreak, which is loyal to me and has been my allies for a long time, and so they will. One of the moves that you also get as part of being the initiate is that when you are in good standing with your sect at the beginning of each mystery, you roll plus charm, and then depending on how well you roll, you get a mission perhaps and get some extra help in the field. But there is. Dawnbreak, primarily Riley and Gad are my allies and have been for a while, and I suppose they will be giving me missions now. So
that'll be fun for everyone.
Yes. And as far as the sect itself, there are 2 good traditions and 2 bad traditions that you can pick. 1 bad tradition that you can pick. And so for the good traditions, I picked that they are knowledgeable and they have magical items. And then for the bad tradition, they are poor because let's not forget they work out of a dress barn.
They canonically are, yes.
Yes. So anyways, that's what I took.
Okay. So it's everybody, all of you. Kira's now awake, Jacob's still asleep, and Tommy, who I think has probably been deputized with carrying Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you head up in this otherwise drab looking just off downtown Chicago apartment. You will pile into the elevator and you go up to the 7th floor.
How many stories is this building?
I think 14. Well, technically 13, but like in most buildings of this type, there is no 13th floor. So it takes you up to the 7th floor, which he does have to turn a key in the elevator before the button will actually light up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when it opens up, it doesn't open up into a hallway like the kind you came down. It opens up into a huge, almost like a office. It's the whole floor. It's lit with a kind of very clean, not quite fluorescent, not quite that irritating, but It's lit like that, and there are no windows is the other notable thing about this. All of the walls are lined with this like harsh, shiny steel.
Mm-hmm.
Not unfamiliar to you, Casey. It's not the same as like your safe house, but it is kind of like some of the same categories of thing. There's definitely like one whole corner is just an armory. There's like a big desk with 6 monitors arrayed like intelligence gathering.
Are there any interesting guns out?
Why don't you roll investigate a mystery?
11.
Well, as I mentioned, it's not out, but you can tell just from the stock that there's a CBX T28 in there with vortex ejection and dual laser sights. It's the goddamn Rolls Royce of sniper rifles. Okay, so you all pile in.
Kira is like conscious, like able to walk fine and everything.
Yeah, you do feel like, you know, when you just wake up and it's like you wish you would have had 20 to 80 more minutes of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if that thing she was injected with is out of her because Theo helped, or we don't know that yet?
You know what you know. I think Theo is pretty sure she got it all out and she's awake. So that's, you know, job one.
Where are we putting Jacob and where are we putting Kira?
Well, Kira can go where she likes. You'll have to ask her.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
But I do think that Cross will sort of like first goes immediately to the computer display and then sort of like as though remembering something goes, oh, right. And then walks over to one of the walls, clicks something and then pulls down basically like a prison cot type situation with just like a very thin pad that he has you put Jacob there.
Yeah, I think Kira's kind of still trying to wake up. It's kind of like looking around and a little confused.
I think Cross is going to walk over and like medical examine you, pull down your eyes and look at what's going on, shine flashlights in them.
Everything all right there, Doc?
You tell me. What'd you get stung with?
I'm not sure. Some sort of dart. Everything just kind of went dark, and I don't know. I had some weird dreams while I was out. Heard this weird voice, and then everything went dark. And Kira looks over at Theo. You were there.
Theo would, if there's any chairs to like pull a chair up next to Jacob.
She doesn't say anything when Kira says anything.
I think just like, oh, like what?
I don't know. You said I got this, and then you ran off. And
I mean, I healed you. Could have subconsciously sensed that I was there.
How'd you heal me? What'd you do?
Theo, important question. What are you doing with your hands?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I notice anything off about Theo?
I think Theo's been hiding her hands like ever since she's come back with the group. Like I think if anything, it's like in her like sweatshirt pocket.
Why don't you roll act under pressure?
8.
Kira, Theo's hiding her hands from you and you don't know why.
Just kind of like rub her face really tiredly. Where are we, by the way?
Cross brought us to his safe house.
Yeah, we were at the hospital a little bit ago.
How are you feeling?
A little tired.
Had us worried there.
What did you see before you passed out?
Theo mentioned that Jacob attacked you.
Yeah, I went to grab him to, get him out of there. And I tried to, pull him with me, but he wasn't budging. And he tried to hit me with some electricity.
Did he say anything before he hit you? Theo, what happened in there?
He didn't really say anything. He had this look like he made up his mind about something that he'd been wrestling with.
He had some sort of conversation with the Dagger. I have a couple of questions for him when he wakes up, but there's some sort of deal going on between him and the Dagger, him and someone else. He made a promise to bring or give the Dagger her, which...
Maybe they're after you, Kira, Anna says. Man, I had that vision after all.
I'm really sorry, Kira.
It's okay.
Well, whatever we're dealing with here is really powerful. I didn't tell you guys this, but I'm telling you now, we were there for a little bit and then came back.
What do you mean there? Who? What?
Well, after you passed out, Theo tried to help you by extracting whatever it was. She went away for a little bit, and I went to go find her. And there was a tear in reality. And so I went in and saw Theo talking to somebody.
Who are you talking to?
The Star King was talking to me. He wanted to make a deal.
I think Cross, over typing some stuff into his computer intelligence readout, will call over his shoulder. What's a Star King?
Someone very powerful. What did he want?
He wants the dagger. She made a deal with him, and she betrayed him.
And he wants us to take her out?
Said he wanted the gray eye.
I'm going to have Cross at this point spin around and say to you guys, and what do you want?
Is he just talking to like anybody in particular
To
or all of
us? All of you guys. We're here to figure out our next move. I have connections in the Council of Many, which technically our Dagger reports to. She's broken some kind of deal. They might have issue with that.
Casey asks Cross, what's the Council of Many?
Well, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. Chicago, like many major American cities, has a sort of pretty sizable, I guess you'd call it, underworld. And basically, non-humans and parahumans, they elect themselves a ruling body to maintain their secrecy, independence, and distributions of power.
How many people of power are outside of this circle? Because if the fact that we ran into this individual and they're not part of this circle, it's a pretty big deal.
That's just it. She is part of the circle. She has her own family, obviously, and they have their own organizations and ambitions.
What family is she a part of?
I mean, family. Mob shit.
Okay, so, we know a couple of, mob families back in Minnesota, so what is it locally to here, aside from the Council of Many?
Mob families in Minnesota. The rampant mob problem.
Said no one ever.
The Scandinavian mob.
Oh yeah, don't you know?
Okay, I referred to the Maggio.
lutefisk. Where's my lutefisk?
I'm gonna make him an offer he'll refuse 3 times to be polite, and then at last accept because then he knows it's for real.
To which I'll say that's not too good.
Fucking focus.
Could you repeat the question?
Okay, I have to add to this. You come into my home and you don't take your shoes off.
Oh my god.
You come into my home on the day of my daughter's wedding and you don't even take your muddy shoes off.
Fuck you guys. Okay, Casey asked, what family does the Dagger belong to? If she doesn't belong to the Council of Many, what family does she belong to?
It's literally like mob shit. It's like they're each 5 families. And what I'm telling you is it's just like the Dagger's crew. Like it's not, there's not a name associated with it. It's her, and it's an organization that they think of and brand themselves internally as a family in order to better emotionally manipulate their soldiers.
Cross, are you familiar with the Vitalis family?
Roll manipulate someone.
I rolled a 12 advanced
You sure
move.
fucking did. He's had some off-book dealings with the Vitalis family.
Does the Dagger work with this family? Because this enchantment that was used on Kira is used by them.
Everybody works with Vitalis. So it makes them simple.
Theo, what do you know about the Vitalis family? They're Maggio, aren't they? What does Theo know about the Vitalis family?
Why don't you roll investigate a mystery? That's a disappointed face.
Yeah, it is. That's gonna be a 6.
Sure. I think here's what you know about the Vitalis family. Their name is not allowed in your house. And you do have memories of being younger and your father walking out of his study, storming out of meetings, and saying the word Vitalis, and then spitting on the floor, and having that be the final word.
We sure do spit on the floor a lot.
Must be a Maggio thing.
I don't really remember a lot, or know a lot about the family. It's just they're not looked on fondly by my family. Jacob might know more. He's older than me, but
Back a couple episodes ago, Mark had tuned in and I think had asked, what's the Dagger going to do next? And the answer was check in with Rex Crook. Did you share that with us?
Because I tuned in with everybody knowing, right?
I don't remember the circumstances of you doing it, but I think that it was just kind of like either in the restaurant or en route somewhere.
Yeah, I believe, it was kind of a team decision. So yeah, I would have relayed that.
So she might be working with Rex then. Also has a connection, apparently.
I mean, that makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Because, like, the Dagger is going back on her deal. Isn't Rex going back on his deal? Why not two people who need something work together against the same enemy?
Well, what deal did Rex make?
He wants to live longer.
And I think Anna's in like the corner and she's like, well, it's not going to be very much longer.
Oh.
I think Anna will speak up and she'll be like, I gave him a call.
You what?
Yeah, I called Rex. RJ.
Why?
When did that happen?
When Diego and I went on a walk.
Did you tell him that we're...
Oh, he knows everything, by the way. I literally asked him, do you know who this is? And he knew exactly who I was, even though I've never introduced myself.
Does he know about us and everything we're doing? Like,
of course.
He is your stepfather, Mark.
They're not actually married, I don't think.
Well,
we've been like dodging him.
I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what's going on. He's been fucking with us. When I mentioned that Kira was unconscious, he did seem a little surprised by that, though.
Where is he right now?
Probably in one of his, 50-story buildings.
Maybe Jacob has, he's the one who had the conversation with the Dagger.
He might know something.
I might know something about what.
Oh, hello.
Kira looks over.
Okay.
Think you got some explaining to do.
Why don't we give Theo and Jacob the room?
Will you roll manipulate someone?
Can I roll help out?
Sure.
Because Theo's gonna offer to, cast a spell to give them privacy.
I rolled a 10 for manipulate.
Okay.
I rolled 14.
Holy.
Okay. Yep. I think
Theo's gonna say, you don't have to give us the whole room. I can cast that spell that I had done when I cast on you, Kira, and Tommy to kind of give us a little bit of privacy.
I think Cross is going to be like, I have a phone call to make anyway.
Sure. We'll be right over here then.
1. Casey wants to eavesdrop on that phone call if she can.
I was just going to say, who's he calling?
Yeah, I'm going to make that be an act under pressure roll.
Okay. I'm going to add 3 to that.
You damn right you are.
Also, I'm 1 away from unstable.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, join the
That's
club.
all accounts.
If since we're in a safe house, do we heal up any, or is it have more time have to pass?
I think you guys could sort of go away and see if Cross can't help you, but see if you could look around for healing implements to see if you could heal up 1 or 2. I think let's just have everybody who wants to do any healing roll act under pressure.
I got an 8.
I rolled an 11 for the healing shit.
Okay.
And I got a 7.
So Anna and Mark, you find basically a ton of pain pills. You'll both heal 1. And Casey, you rolled the 11. I think you find and are able to apply, literally do some stitches on yourself. You'll heal 2.
Sweet. And then for eavesdropping on Cross, I rolled 12 advance move.
Well, fucking A. We'll deal with that in a second.
Do you want me to use magic for Theo, or does that just happen?
With the help out and the convince somebody, it just happens. You can take your time. Everyone's going to respect the privacy bubble.
I do want to say I think Anna is watching and she's staring daggers at Jacob.
What I think goes up is a sort of semi-cylinder off the wall of the force or wind, and it kind of just looks like rippling frosted glass, but it's clearly just air and energy sort of hovering and vibrating, so you can see sort of the colors and vague shapes of them, and then there's just this sort of dim hum coming from the whole area, but ceiling to floor, it's this case that you can not really make out what's going on the other side. So Jacob's awake, and he's sort of I think the vibe that you're getting from him is acceptance of his fate. He sits up and sort of pats the bed he's on and is okay, prison, Metal walls. Okay. And then he sort of looks at you like your move.
Not quite sure what to say to you right now.
I like to think that eventually you'll be thanking me.
It's such a Nessos thing to say.
Take the boy out of the Maggio. She had a contract on us, Theo. She was going to kill us.
Why? Like, who? What do you mean she's a contract on us? Did someone, like, hire her to kill us?
Yes. And not just someone big.
Well, who?
I don't know. But you don't mobilize the Dagger with money.
By, like, killing us, do you mean you and me? And, like, why?
Yes, but she gave us a way out.
To give her Kira.
There's nothing in the world that's more important to me than you. The fact that I'm surviving in this situation doesn't hurt either.
Do you know why you're surviving?
I've worked really hard. To build what I have here. I don't know who these new friends of yours are, but I'm sorry. If it comes down to you or them, it's them. It just is.
You put me in this horrible position. You know that, right?
We've been in this horrible position, Theo. I'm trying to get us out of it.
By sacrificing my family?
Yes. Family? What? Theo, did you get married?
No. Remember, I never can. But Kira is practically my sister. I care about her just as much as I care about Selena.
Roll manipulate someone.
No. 11.
I think it gives you a look like, holy shit. I did not know that.
You never really asked.
You know, the plan was a way out. What came before wasn't supposed to matter.
Was this the first time you've ever spoken to the Dagger?
Directly, yeah. She's not the kind of client I like to pitch.
I need to get some things straight. Why did you invite me to Chicago?
What do you mean?
I mean, why did you invite one of your siblings who you rarely have any contact with or knowledge of who they are to come live with you and be with you in Chicago just out of the blue? I mean, the last time I saw you was maybe a Christmas years ago, or even just Selena's funeral, which you were here and then gone in like a day.
Look, if you're asking why I don't call,
I understand why you don't call. If I was in your position, I wouldn't call either.
it was just...
I'm just wondering if somebody is manipulating you.
What? It's a hell of a thing to manipulate a guy about. Invite your sister to live with you or I'll kill you. I got a raise. I promised myself if I got financially stable and could take on the roommate without... I do still expect you to pay rent, but I wanted to not rely on that. And suddenly I didn't have to. I thought you'd be happy, and I didn't think this. Well, daggers do tend to come from behind, though.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, I didn't see it coming. Are they gonna kill me?
No, they're my family, but you're also my family.
Let the record show that I was your family first, if that's a point in my favor.
Just, our family sucks. No, I know that you and I are different than our brothers and sisters, but I would choose them. And Theo's going to gesture towards Kira and the rest of the group, because I know that they love me no matter what.
Outside, Cross is doing some work, but not enough work to conceal his side of the conversation on the phone call he's making. Here's what you gather. One of the first things you pick up on is that his name is Ralph, but he insists on being referred to as Raptor.
Okay.
And it is something that Cross absolutely is using against him. The voice on the other end sounds...
Sorry.
I'm glad you like it. I'm pleased.
I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
The voice at the other end sounds sharp and young and angry and like panicked, because what Cross is saying is events have already transpired that will require an immediate gathering of the Council of Many. And he is expecting and demanding the opportunity for him and guests to attend, and is calling in an unspecified favor. I think he does. He asks if the dagger will be there, and Ralph doesn't know.
And Casey's not going to let on or say anything that she knows.
Of course not.
Could I ask Jacob 2 questions?
Sure.
What do you know about the Vitalis family?
I'm going to have you roll investigate a mystery.
10.
What, Christos and Dimitri? I mean, they're dealers in every sense of the word. Dad never liked them because they didn't, play the whole family game. Honestly, I don't like them much either, but that's just because they're all sell, and morals and consequences be damned.
Theo's going to say, Casey said that the Vitalis family, that some sort of, poison enchantment that was used on Kira, that they're the ones that use it. Do you know about this enchantment?
I'm going to have to look at the specific one. I know they do poison enchantments for hire. Christos considers himself a artisan.
So you wouldn't put it past them to work with demons from there?
If they have money or something money adjacent, the Vitalis will scoop it up.
Is the Council of Many to be trusted? Are they safe?
I mean, trusted to do what?
Well, Cross is suggesting talking to them, letting them know about the dagger.
Technically she reports to them, so it could work, but only if she's broken one of their rules.
Would they know who took the contract out on us?
Maybe, or they could compel her to say it.
After all of this is done, taken care of, we should talk.
Yeah, I suppose we should. What are the rest of you doing?
I have a question. Could Kira roll perhaps for Dark Past with this Council of Many business?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
14.
Ask your questions, Kira Ashwood.
Who do I know who could help us right now?
Tiff's ex.
Okay.
Excuse me, Captain Torres's ex.
Okay. Well, then I think I'll ask when I dealt with this creature, one of its kind, what did I learn?
First time you would have dealt with the council would have been in South Dakota. You learned that they are a national organization. Mm-hmm. The nature of their organization was sort of a mystery and didn't make a ton of sense because they're not a tribe of werewolves. They're not a group of a certain kind of species. They're all different kind of extra human, parahuman. There's fucking ghosts in there.
Mm-hmm. It's a council.
It's a council. You couldn't tell what unified them, and there are chapters of it all over the country.
Okay.
Would Rex Crook would have known who took out the contract?
Rex might have been the one to take out the contract.
Can I tune in to him and see?
You could tune into him, sure.
I don't like that. 12.
Nice.
Okay. Ask your questions.
Do I have to stick to list?
Ask me what you want to know, and I'll tell you whether you're allowed to know it.
Who took out the contract?
If that's what you want to know, that's the only question you're going to get to ask.
I mean, let's do that.
The person who originally took out the contract on Theo and Jacob is the Gray Hand.
So what the fuck? If they took the contract out on Theo and Jacob, and then,
Probably to get the dagger in front of Theo and her friends.
What's actually going on here? Is the Star King fucking with us? Or is he actually telling the truth that he wants the dagger dead? How did she betray him if he put the contract out? Because she changed the terms of the deal, maybe? Because maybe it was actually supposed to be you guys, but then she came after Kira for whatever reason?
Hey, Johnny?
Yeah?
Do you think you could, meander over to Casey's question corner?
Sure. You wanna play us over with some of the Casey's Question Corner theme song music?
I just picture the Bob Ross intro song,
Yeah, I think it's
Casey's
something like Casey's Question Corner. I hate this. Okay. I was wondering if I could ask, what is really going on here?
That's quite a question.
Maybe we should ask, what specifically, the whole, the dagger betraying, the Gray Hand? Maybe that would be clear. Did she actually betray, what was the betrayal? Or is it just a fucking farce?
Yeah, maybe I'll just hold on to it. Because we still have to go to, the council, and I could always maybe use it there.
Well, but I also, maybe you could ask some of the questions that you're technically allowed to ask.
It might help.
I mean, does the question, how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture, apply?
This is connected to why Tessa is back. The Star King, aka the Grey Hand, is pulling you into a much larger game.
I think Theo's going to just, ask Jacob, is there anything else you need to tell me that you don't want them to know before I drop this shield?
Well, in all likelihood, today is going to get me fired, so I will need you to get a job.
I think Theo's just gonna, throw up her hand, and the...
He's smiling.
Force wind thing's just gonna, drop. Theo's just gonna stand up and, walk away from him.
Okay.
You said there's no windows here, huh?
Nope.
Theo's going to tell Casey that there's a contract out to kill Jacob and I, and Kira was our way out, and he's afraid that we're gonna kill him. I think he's gonna kind of smirk a little bit, look past Theo at Jacob, and just be like, I would be too, but he's your brother, so it's gonna be your call. As much as I do want to strangle him, he's just tied up in this, and it's not his fault. I'm mad, but it's not his fault.
Whenever Theo's done talking with Casey, she'll try to catch Theo's eye.
I'll manipulate someone.
Okay. Oh, 6.
So while you're trying to do that, in front of you and between the two of you will walk Cross, who is hanging up his phone, totally distracting everybody. Well, your Uncle Cross has come through once again.
Okay.
Do pray tell.
I got us an audience with the Council of Many, who, if I'm right, should be able to make this whole thing go away.
And how would they do that?
By snapping their fingers and squirting our friend Dagger in the face with some cold water. Everybody's got a boss. Hers is the Council.
Well, Theo just informed me that there's a contract out to kill her and Jacob. So if the Dagger is stopped, what is stopping whoever put out that contract from hiring somebody else?
I'm sorry, do you want me to keep you safe for all of eternity?
I think Anna from the corner is like, that'd be nice.
As I see it, you got one monster chasing you. I'm offering a chance to talk that monster down.
We appreciate it, Cross. It sounds like you did a lot of string pulling to get an audience with them.
I'm only one incredible man.
So modest, too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mark, because Casey announced that there's a contract out on Theo and Jacob, are you going to let us know that it's the Grey Hand that,
Yeah, I would have said directly, right after that incident,
Yes! My guileless portrait of Mark is so wonderful that you just are, with your sunglasses looking at, the corner of the room. And then you're like, hey, guys, it was the Grey Hand you put up.
No, because I think you guys would have been discussing what you want to do or whatever, and then I would have been like, I can just reach out.
Just to the two of you?
Yeah, just to the two of them and be like, hold on a minute. And then I just tune into it. It was the Grey Hand.
So, the Grey Hand put out a contract to kill Theo and Jacob, and the Dagger picked it up. But why target Theo and Jacob? I can understand, target Theo to get to Kira, but then it sounded like the Dagger wants Kira, and the Grey Hand actually wants the Dagger. So, why not put a contract out on the Dagger?
Well, if I've learned anything of dealing with people from there, they're all about deals. You cross them on a deal, they're going to want to get you back. From my understanding, this Grey Hand, this Star King, they're the king of deals. If he wanted something from Theo, Jacob, I doubt it was actually necessarily to kill you. Sure, but that doesn't seem like his MO. He wanted something. He's trying to get us to do his bidding. He's trying to get us to do his deals.
He's trying to get us into something bigger.
Trying to get more power. That's how they get powers from these other people, binding them into their service.
Do we know Traxxas? Was he a prince of there? Do we know what domain?
I don't think you do.
But then there's the whole, like, zombie thing that Theo dealt with earlier. Like, should we just ignore that?
Is it connected, do we think?
I mean, what was the whole thing? It was... They were part of some deal. The guy died. They brought him back to life to finish the deal.
Yeah, there was something that bothered me about that, says Jacob. Once a soul is separated, bringing it back isn't automatic. You can't just call in a favor and make someone not be dead anymore. You'd have to do it at all, you'd have to offer something twice the price. To do it more than once, be a hell of a deal.
Wonder if that's where Rex comes in, because Rex has done this before. Keeping a soul with a body. He did it with Numbers. He did it with Quinn.
And Sarah.
Jacob's sense of it is that, like, well, it's a bit like gravitational pull. To let something go to the other side is just like dropping it on the floor. But to bring a spirit like that back and into its own body, I mean, it's like sending a rocket into space. The energy required, the power, you don't just have that.
You have to be a king of there to do that.
Or have one on a leash.
When I was trying to help the old woman with her dead, now zombie husband, I tried banishing his soul, but I saw a gray hand, like, kind of like capture it and push it back in. So the gray hand has, like, excuse me, but a hand in that too.
What does he want with us? If he's really controlling that many aspects around us, I don't think it's coincidental. This is very purposeful.
Can I ask a weird question, Johnny? Would Theo be able to, like, with her magic sense if we are being scryed upon or listened to?
Roll it. Plus weird.
9. I'm kind of, if it helps, like, I'm kind of specifically wondering if the gray hand is, like, looking in on us.
Well, so right now, especially with a mixed success on this, the metal of the walls isn't just metal. Like, I think the thing that you kind of do involves at least one clapping of hands, and the way it, like, resonates, there's, you've seen it before. I don't know that you've done it. You would have done it yourself, but probably Bennett the Seventh, for sure, Deacon would have cast metal like this with something else in it that just kind of, like, stitches into the molecules and provides a sort of soundproofing, so to speak. Every edge of this apartment is made with that kind of metal. Anything that would be trying to look in on you can't right now.
Okay. So, a lot of information. When do we meet with the council? Is this like a formal affair, or can we just, like, show up?
I mean, how is everyone dressed? And I do want to start with Mark.
I feel like when we had talked before, Mark was, like, wearing cargo pants or cargo shorts.
That's right. You were like cargo shorts, and I think you even said like a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh no, I forgot. Yeah, because I'd only been on a trip to Chicago in high school.
Then I think at the question, well, I mean, you might be a little underdressed. Cue the montage. I think, well, what I want to jump straight into is Cross has a stylist.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
But I also want, so the elevator opens, a very, like, bleach blonde but still totally goth young woman walks out and looks at all of you, goes straight to Mark and says to Cross without breaking eye contact with you, Mark, "This is going to cost you." And after a beat, Jacob will go, "I get it. A hand in what's happening."
Oh, I'm getting a makeover apparently.
So here's what I want to know. Mark, obviously, and Mark, I want you to roll plus charm. Anybody else?
He rolled a 5.
Oh no.
No.
Can Kira help him?
I don't think she can.
I can. I have helping hand.
Then roll it.
This is so on brand for Mark to fail this, though.
I think she feels bad, and she's like, dude, like, do you remember that one outfit, like, that we wore, like, when we went to that, like, that, you know, that function for work? Like, you looked good then. Maybe try something like that.
I mean...
Okay, so she rolled 11 to help out, so then he gets 7, because I have helping hand.
Oh, because you had 2. Okay.
Oh, because you had 2. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. So Mark gets a little bit of confidence. He's like, all right, we got this.
I do think there's like a degree of like, she's got you in the shirt and you're buttoned all the way up and you're looking very sharp and your hair's like combed down and to a point where it looks like just slick and very cool. And then she like turns away to get a different comb and turns back and your hair is insane and your shirt is open.
Well, is there any issues with the fire or anything like that? Like,
This is Delia. This is Cross's stylist. Mark, why don't you roll investigate a mystery real quick?
10.
Okay. She is doing a little bit of contouring on your face, and she's like, God, I want to give her a stupid voice so bad. You know, it's funny. You're not the first guy I've known with eyes like that.
I bet you say that to all the guys.
I'm not a skag. So did he just jump in? Did you put him in yourself, yeah?
What? Wait a minute. What do you've actually had people in here with flaming eyes?
Not people, one bloke.
Who's that?
Me ex.
Oh, you don't say. She put in her eyes too?
She slaps you on the arm. Hey,
Oh, he.
making an ass of you and me, are ya?
I think Mark just like gulps and like continues talking.
Not good with people, are ya?
Was he not good with people too?
I mean, not after.
After what? What happened?
He was a soldier, sort of a higher type. Got in a fight, mates got eaten. He came back with them fiery eyes. You've been the same since then, have ya?
Gone through some change. Did he have wings?
Why have you got? Nah, just them fiery eyes, fiery breath, fiery personality.
What's the name by chance?
We'll all manipulate someone.
9.
Cheeky bugger. He was called Ruth. Christian name Rufus.
Oh, Rufus. He live around here?
I think she just goes back to very gently and pleasantly applying contour to your face. And be like, no, he doesn't live anywhere. I killed him.
Oh, you did?
It's not nearly as nice as you, don't worry.
Mark just slowly goes back into his chair a little bit.
The only thing I'm going to kill tonight is this look.
Well, I appreciate that. I've never met anyone else who's gone through the same changes that I have. So, pardon my curiosity.
And I do think she's going to be like, don't worry about it. I get that kind of curiosity all the time from you. And then Cross is going to go, Delia, I hired you to do a job. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Your boy will be smashing.
Question, how good does Mark look?
Like, out of 10.
Honestly, 6. On account of that's what he rolled. He looks like, I think she put him in a suit. Yeah, he comes out and there is like, I do imagine TV show version, there's like stock music, heavy guitar, debut tunes. But he looks unmistakably like a little boy wearing his dad's suit.
I was gonna say it's like L from Death Note, like wearing a suit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like in the way that they always irritatingly put it, where it's like he wears the clothes don't wear him. These clothes are wearing you, Mark. And then I think like and then Delia turns to Cross and goes, short notice.
Because you had asked if any of the rest of us wanted anything. I do want to
know.
This is Friendship Simulator.
Well, I do want to know if the rest of you want to know anything, and how good she does will depend on what you roll on plus charm.
Oh yeah, no, Kira and Anna will join in if she's offering.
Please roll that.
The second one was for Anna, and she rolled a 10, and Kira rolled an 8.
Okay.
Yes, Johnny?
I think I want Delia to mutter something like, well, We can tell who got the looks in the family.
Ouch!
Does Tommy defend Kira?
Oh.
Kira just was unconscious from like some fucking curse poison. Fuck you.
But I think like if you let her, she's gonna do some like pretty like psychedelic cat eye shit.
Okay.
Subtle, but also like, you know, there's some white highlights and there's like very clear black lines and then also like splashes of color. But I think the colors that she'll use for Kira will be very cool and for Anna will be very warm.
Okay.
To play off the hair. Was that Theo or Casey getting anything?
Well, so I think that Casey's gonna, either ask Delia or Cross, because Casey had dressed in like black pants, black blouse, black blazer. Like, is this good enough? Like, is this acceptable at this council?
My headcanon, at least in the TV show version, is Casey seated in the sort of stylist chair. Delia approaches and Casey just goes, nope, stands up and walks away.
Yeah. And then I think that Theo's, gonna just like ask, like, is there anything that you could do that like keeps the sweatshirt in the outfit?
Will you roll plus charm?
7.
Do you trust me?
I guess I have no choice.
She holds out a hand to ask for the sweatshirt.
Is she gonna do something to the sweatshirt?
Yes.
Like cut it and stuff, or?
I don't have to tell you that with that roll. What sweatshirt is this, Theo?
Mechanically, this is my enchanted clothing. But also this is Selena's old sweatshirt.
Do you trust me?
I'm sorry, not with this sweatshirt.
She's going to turn to Cross and be like, just see what I'm dealing with.
You're not gonna cut it, are you?
Look, if you want to come rocking up like you're at an all ages club, that's your business. I'm here to do a job.
I think Theo will like take the sweatshirt off, but like not give it to her. No, Theo's not gonna give it to her.
Okay. Then I think cut to like a shyly sulking Theo with curlers in her hair with the sweatshirt still on and Delia like ribbing Cross and being like, I can't work with these children. They won't let me do. I can't make paint out of clay.
I think Anna's like, I'll let you do whatever you want.
Wait, Anna, really? I'm thinking undercut. Like, why am I blanking on her fucking name? The sister from Supergirl.
Oh, Alex?
Yeah, Alex Danvers, season 5, but in blue.
Anna's like, why the fuck not?
I like her. And then for what had Anna been wearing?
She's more of like kind of like grunge style a little bit.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah.
So
I think she's probably wearing like some like heavy boots or something and like, yeah, I don't know, like black pants. And...
Yep, you'll keep the boots. She'll put you in some super tight black jeans, probably with like ripped knees, charcoal gray tank top, and then like the olive green. This is so stupid. Olive green like army jacket, but with the shoulders cut out.
Okay, cool.
And then that hair. And then she goes like, masterpiece.
Sick. Love it.
Americans. Thank you, Delia. We should do lunch sometime.
Casey's gonna help Theo get more comfortable.
And Delia goes to the elevator and calls back to Cross. You can't afford me. Door's shut. She's gone. Congratulations, dweebs. You all now all look hot, with notable exceptions.
I've become a 6.
And then I think Cross himself has also changed into like tight black dress pants, fitted blazer, white collarless shirt with a black stripe all the way up to his neck.
Okay. What are we gonna do with Jacob?
This is like Theo or Casey asking that out loud.
Mostly Casey.
I think Kira kind of looks over at Jacob. Wow.
Cross will take out the little EpiPen go to sleep thing that he had before and be like, I can always
We don't need to put him to sleep. I'm thinking something more like where's he going to be safest? Either coming with us or staying here?
I think Anna's like, well, I've got a couple of ideas if we want him to stay here or if we want him to go somewhere else.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Kira, will you roll plus charm one more time for reasons that will become obvious after you think about it for even a second?
It's Tommy, isn't it? 12 advanced move.
I don't even want to describe how he's dressed. I want to describe how the scene plays in the TV show version of this, which is that he walks out, the camera is over his shoulder, and all you see is him just like walking and like sort of straightening up and running a hand through his hair and going, "How do I look?" And just about everybody goes,
Casey rolls her eyes.
Yeah, I know. Kira's just like, well, damn. And she'll be like, no, you're, it's looking good.
No, he's fine.
Yeah. Now I'm distracted by Tommy's hotness. I forgot what I was even gonna do.
That tracks, actually. That makes sense. Mechanically, that's what happens to you.
Anna was going to do something.
I was gonna do something.
Damn, he's so hot.
I just have one thing I want to do right now.
And it's standing right there.
Oh my god.
No. So Anna she was gonna offer something. She'd be like, well, I mean, if we want him to come with us, that's one thing. If we want him to go somewhere else, I mean, I could maybe do something that could help keep him safe. It's really up to Theo, I guess.
Is it going to be helpful or make things worse if he comes with us?
Who is that a question for?
I think it's for Cross and Jacob. Like, does Jacob have any standings whatsoever with the council?
Theo, will you roll manipulate someone in his behalf?
It's a 5.
You don't want him there.
Yeah, Anna, I mean, you're going to stay there, Jacob? Wherever Anna has in mind?
Where does Anna have in mind?
Calm yourself. Jesus. Unlike some people, we don't sell people out the first chance that they get.
Okay. I probably deserve that.
Anna, where are you thinking about putting him?
Anywhere that you'd be safe. I mean, if we wanted to stay here, you can stay here. If you have somewhere that you think nobody else would know about, I can do some sort of protection spell where people won't be able to scry on you, won't be able to find you. Or just bar it completely from anybody entering.
Well, he should be able to stay here because nobody can see into here.
Great.
I think Cross is going to go, oh, also there's this, and push a button underneath the desk, and then a bunch of bars are going to shoot up from the ground to lock him in by that, sitting on that bed he's been sitting on. And Jacob's going to go, oh, come on!
Do you have your phone on you, Jacob?
Yeah, he does. He's a graphic designer.
If anything happens, just call me.
Do phones work here? Yeah, it's a different thing.
Then he'll be fine here. Let's go. As Theo shrugs on her sweatshirt.
For Anna, as she's leaving, she will take some time to do, I think, one of her abjuration effects to make it difficult for monsters to gain access.
Okay.
To the building.
To the building?
Take some time to completely ward a building or area by whatever means necessary, making it difficult for monsters to gain access.
Here's what I want to do. Roll act under pressure.
Okay.
Because that will take quite a bit of time. And if you roll high enough, you will be able to do it to the entire building.
Okay. I rolled a 12.
Sick. Okay. You've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah.
I think you leave some carvings, etchings, paintings, business, essentially all the way around the building. So you're reasonably confident he'll be okay in there.
As they're headed out, I do think that Kira would stop by Jacob's cell and just sort of looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I want to keep her safe too.
I mean, she was my sister first.
Yeah, fair. That's not a competition.
Just don't die, okay?
I have no intention of dying.
I still gotta earn your forgiveness, so...
Well, good thing for you that I'm the more forgiving sister. And then I think she walks outside.
Okay.
On the way out, Can Casey be like, oh, Cross, can I borrow that one gun of yours?
What?
Notice you had a CBX T28.
Yeah, I do. What of it?
Mind if I borrow it?
Roll manipulate someone. Subtract 2.
10.
God damn it.
I mean, you're not using it at the moment, are you?
It's not a special occasion. Oh, what the hell? What's the point of having fine china if you only bust it out for the Pope, am I right?
Oh, hell yeah.
So you take the goddamn Rolls Royce of sniper rifles. We'll talk about what that means when we come to that. And then you guys set off in your cars.
I was just going to say, just for posterity's sake, I want to just say canonically, they would have let Donovan know that Kira's back awake.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I feel like because it pleases me, I want it to have been a text and be like, Kira's awake. She's okay. She's getting her bearings. And Donovan would be like, as expected. Or something equally like.
They do have a connection, mentor and apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's
My
true.
greatest regret. Mark, Gia is going to make a point of sitting next to you.
Oh.
Can I help you?
So did you get killed by a fire demon too, or? I heard what that 8.5 was saying to you when she was doing your makeup.
What?
It's just like, what percentage of you is human? What percentage of you is like, are you like killing machine or like fire of 1,000 suns? Like, is there a prophecy about you? Kind of what's your deal?
You're
not literally going to tell me that you just have cool sunglasses, are you?
You think they're cool? Divert everything you just said. Honestly, I don't know who I am, but I'm gonna figure it out.
I feel like in the rearview mirror, Casey's just gonna look back at them and be like, "Fuck that! I know that you're Mark Clayton."
Well, of course I'm Mark Clayton, but deeper than that.
So deeper than that, you're a weirder Mark Clayton.
I'm not that weird.
Mark, you have fire eyes.
You're pretty weird, Anna says.
Who is in my car?
I don't know.
There's a lot of people.
We're just walking
in my car.
I feel judgment.
I mean, at least you're probably more human than Captain Hook over there. And Diego goes, do not call me Captain Hook.
So many great nicknames, though. I really like Captain Hook. I really like Toro. But Captain Hook's just so fitting.
I think at the very mention of Captain Hook, Talk is going to laugh so hard that they snort.
I think Mark is going to be like, just sit back for a minute, pull out his stone and look at it. Does he see anything?
Roll plus weird.
10. G is sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out the stone just casually and look at it. Kind of, what time of day is it?
If you're riding in the back of my car, you're sitting with Gia, Talk, and Diego. And then Casey's driving, and I think Theo's in the passenger seat.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, what is the situation like for
We
driving?
do need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Friendship simulator. So, Casey's driving. Who else's car even came with Cross?
I think so. Kira was driving a car, I think, at one point.
I think you would all fit in 2 cars.
Yeah. Kira will drive the other one.
Okay. So, Kira, Tommy, Cross, Anna, then Casey, Theo, Mark, Gia, Talk, Diego. Okay. Is there any conversation happening in the Kira car?
Well, I wanted to talk with Theo, but she doesn't want to talk to me, apparently.
You'd have to roll manipulate someone to get Theo to sit in your car.
Happily. That's a 12 advanced move.
Welcome back to Friendship Simulator 2021.
I imagine that Kira would have to hook an arm around Theo's arm and drag her to your car.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She will bring you to the car.
But wait, can we resolve Mark's stone thing first?
Yes, quite.
So yeah, I pick it up, kind of take a look at it, shine it in the light. What time of day is it?
The sun has just gone down.
Okay, so I can't see it.
I mean, you're seeing it's. I mean, you're driving at night in Chicago. You're seeing reflecting
lights.
The street lights. In kind, it's reflecting sort of in urban neon colors, and you are seeing a ferocious house cat You are seeing a wise and patient snake. You are seeing an angry and clumsy salamander. And then you see like a sort of trapezoid shaped like domino mask that includes the nose and has filled in eyes. Then all that fades away, and then you just see like right in the center a blinking, teeny tiny, bright green light.
How fast is it pulsing?
Beat, beat, beat.
Does Casey's team see any of that?
Mark, were you trying to keep it hidden?
No, he just casually takes it out because that's what he does from time to time. It doesn't usually mean anything to anybody, so he doesn't think anything of it.
Okay.
He is very connected to it, but I don't think that to everyone else he feels like it isn't really anything, so it's just a keepsake that he has, so he's not worried about showing it.
I think that's honestly true. I think to everybody else it's just a blank piece of obsidian.
But this is a special group of people, so I don't know.
With a special group of skills.
Skills that make them a nightmare for people like you. Your team doesn't see anything. Well, in case you roll plus weird.
Uh-oh.
Please miss.
8.
That's not what he asked you to do.
I was very clear in my instructions, Casey. You're unstable. They won't say anything about it, but Talk saw something.
Do I catch a glimpse of...
Nope, you were looking at your obsidian.
I was looking at the obsidian. Okay.
Kira wanted to talk to Theo.
Yeah.
Apparently. You're so uncomfortable. Friendship isn't always easy, Simulator 2021.
Speaking of friendship simulators, who's sitting where and who's driving in Kira's car?
I'm actually honestly envisioning that this is Cross's car. Cross is driving.
So then, yeah, I think it's probably like Cross in the front and probably like either Anna or Tommy in the front seat with him.
I like Tommy up front. Kira, Anna, Theo in the back.
Yeah.
Is it like 1, 2, 3, or is it like 1, 2, and then 3 in the back? So am I getting an Ashwood sandwich?
Let's talk about it. Technically, it would be a Theo sandwich because of the way sandwiches work.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever.
Probably, most likely. You are the youngest. Bitch seat usually goes to the youngest.
And you are also, I think, canonically the littlest.
Most petite.
And canonically, does Theo have her staff pretty much all this whole time, I think, too?
The ancient wood staff? Yeah, I'd assume so.
Okay. So it's between her, like, legs awkwardly. I honestly think that, like, Theo's, like, just forehead is, like, against the wood. Her eyes are closed.
Mm-hmm. I think they're kind of quiet for a while, but I think Kira will eventually, she'll be like, I'm okay, you know. It's okay. How are you doing?
Could be better.
Yeah. I need you to know that this is not what your brother did. He was put in a hard place. I understand why he did what he did. I might not think it's great or agree with it, obviously, but I don't fault him for that. He was looking out for you, and speaking as somebody who cares for you, I understand where he's coming from.
I know that.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm thinking of everything and nothing.
What did the Star King want with you?
He just wanted to use me.
Doesn't feel great, does it? But you know what? What he was trying to do, trying to use you, that's not any sort of reflection on you. Because guess what? You get to decide what the fuck you want to do. The Star King has been fucking with all of us. And he really tried to fuck with you today. That's not okay in my book.
Yeah, but it was just too damn easy.
Do you think that was easy? Do you know how many loopholes I'm sure he had to go through to get things to go exactly the way that he wanted to? And for what purpose? What does he even want? Let me tell you something. People who would try to use other people, it's because they need something from them, because they see them as a source of strength.
Or they see them as bait.
He wants something from us, from you, because you have power. Don't tell yourself that you're weak. You're not weak.
We're here. Car pulls up and stops right in front of what is unmistakably an Arby's.
Great.
Casey, you pull up your van behind Cross.
Can I say something to Diego?
I would love for you to say something to Diego.
Do you think that they have Arby's catering this meeting?
I want him to be like, Oh my god, you think that's an option?
I mean, if it's not, we're totally getting some on the way out.
I'm not getting Arby's.
Fist bump with him.
Hey everyone, Lauren, Miah, and John here.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us for episode 23. Before we get back to the show, we have just a few quick announcements. First of all, we are super excited to have another episode of our Off the Books bonus series coming your way next week. And this time, we're playing an all-new game system called Absurdia, where we will be joined by Quinn from Monster Hour. Quinn ran a one-shot of his brand new Powered by the Apocalypse game for myself, Johnny, and Miah.
Yeah, and I got to live out a possible future of my bachelorette party, but as if some horrible supernatural accident happened. But that's an adventure for the future. I do want to take a moment, though, to say thank you to all of our listeners for helping spread the word about our show. Whether it's leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, engaging with us on social media, coming to one of our listening parties, or recommending us to a friend. Thank you.
In addition to leaving us a rating and review, there are a few other ways that you can show your support. We have a merch store on Redbubble with lots of, well, it's a merch store, so we have a lot of stuff there.
Lots of cool stuff.
Lots of awesome stuff.
Get stickers. We just got stickers. They're awesome.
And magnets. Don't forget about the magnets.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might actually, we should get flags. I can put one on my motorcycle. Anyway, Ko-Fi. As a reminder, we also have a Ko-Fi page. It's written here as coffee, but I believe it's Ko-Fi. That's K-O-F-I. If you like what we've been doing, one way to show your support is head to our page and buy us coffee. Buy us a Ko-Fi.
This is the great mystery of the podcasting age. Is it Ko-Fi? Is it coffee? Is it Ko-Fi? We don't know.
Only time will tell. Any funds we receive will go towards new bonus content, equipment, and other quality of life improvements for the show. We might even be getting that toilet we wanted, Miah.
Just kidding. Cut that part out.
Add it to the registry, John.
Back to you, Miah.
Thank you, John. A couple of ways for you to connect with us is we have a Discord server. As I mentioned earlier, we have live listening parties together. John, Lauren, and I, and sometimes Johnny are in the chat, and we chat back and forth with you guys, the listeners, as we listen to the latest episodes. We also do live AMAs after a mystery arc. Sometimes Lauren and I stream a game that we're playing. I know Lauren's been wanting to stream some Sims. We've done Overcooked together in the past. Recently, I've started doing a more panic-inducing game than Overcooked called Cook Serve Delicious. Maybe I'll stream that one of these days.
And if you guys are looking for some quality content, we'll be doing Farming Simulator on Saturdays.
By we, he means John.
You're going to have to back that up, and you're going to have to stream Farming Simulator.
Oh, God.
You can't just make these claims.
As well as Discord, you can also connect with us on Twitter at Monster Playbook and on Instagram and Facebook at Monsters Playbook. Or you can send us an email at monstersplaybook@gmail.com. You can find all of these things and more in our Direct Me profile, which is linked in the episode show notes.
Our feature promo this week is for Crit Like a Girl, an actual play D&D podcast. This podcast has an all-female cast with magic, mystery, adventures, shit jokes, and a cute pet owl. That's right, John. They have an owl. They should get together and have a play date with Lariat. I'm just saying. But let's hear it from themselves. Play the promo.
Sugar, spice, and everything dice. These were the ingredients selected to create the most badass ladies in all of Arcandrum, each treated to a vision of the possible destruction that could befall the world if they did not stop it. Thus, the Dream Team was born. With their skills combined,
Sildwyn, the wild wood elf who is one with nature and doesn't understand the rest of the world. She'll find new friends that may inspire her to consider new ideals and learn to love a world outside of just the woods.
Poppy, a skilled falconer with a history of mercenary work, some more questionable than others. She's a lover of ale, a good fight, and her best friend Pudge. Though she is loud and opinionated, she has a big heart.
Zuri, a sarcastic bard of both lore and shanties, is always on the lookout for a new story to tell in the taverns.
Jinx, a chaotic cleric and devout worshipper to the best goddess in all of the world, of course, Giovanni. She is a bundle of rainbows, sunshine, and butterflies.
Are dedicating their lives to fighting the forces of evil. Crit Like a Girl is a cinematic podcast featuring the adventures of 4 strong women and an adorable little owl. Join us every other Monday, and come see how we crit like a girl.
You can find out more about Crit Like a Girl on their Twitter at Crit Like a Girl Pod. That is Crit Like a GRL Pod. Or on Instagram at Crit Like a Girl, or check out their link tree in this episode's show notes. Be sure to check them out wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, one thing that we forgot to mention, Miah, do the honors?
We've reached 5,000 downloads!
Oh, gee, thank you.
It's so weird. You guys like us. You really like us.
Yes, when we started this podcast, we didn't think that we would get maybe 10 listeners to even get us to like 100 listens. And
or even outside of our family.
Right, or outside of me just hitting replay. But we've reached 5,000 downloads, and we are so glad to have all of you guys with us on this crazy, crazy story and this journey. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are so glad to have you all with us.
I feel like if Jonny was here, he would say, it's only getting started.
It is only getting started. Do you know how many episodes we have in the can? A lot.
Yeah, I think it's over 50.
At least.
Yeah. So I hope you're ready to laugh, cry some more. And then, I don't know, is there any other emotions that we go through on this podcast?
Angry.
John, how excited are you for 5,000 downloads?
Oh my god, so excited for 5,000 downloads. Oh yeah.
Let's get back to the show.
We should go back to the show.
All right, so you walk in behind the counter. There's a couple of greasy teens that Cross just like nods at, and they nod at each other, and they lead you back and open the door. They do something to the cooler door, and then they open it, and then it now leads to a very old-looking stone staircase.
This thing, like this whole like leading us to the back and the whole freezer thing, does this seem very familiar to the Invisible Family? Like when Casey was led down back there?
Kind of, but that like maybe the like technology at play is similar.
Okay.
But like the way like that staircase looked unmistakably like almost space age. Like it was all sort of illuminated and kind of ethereally glowing. This looks like a Scottish ruin.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys head down, and I think as you are heading down, like he's pushing past you, and he's going very quickly. But it's this like skinny punk with messy black hair in a denim vest who's just like, I'm not going to be the last one there.
Does he say that?
Yup.
Does his voice sound like Raptor?
Yup.
I kind of want Anna to just like jokingly be like, brace ya. And like pretend like she's going to go, but then not go.
Do you want her to say that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think she's going to be like, brace ya, and like pretend like she's like going to jolt, like start running.
I think he turns back and looks at you and goes, no. And then like flames in the shape of his eyes appear right before you.
Okay.
And for just a second, Anna can't move.
Dude, calm yourself. God.
He's already gone.
Cheating.
That's not fair.
So they don't go down all that far. And you head down and you are in...
As they're walking down the hallway, I want Kira to kind of like grab Crass's ear and be like, so what do we need to know to talk with these people?
Is there any etiquette we need to be aware of?
So basically, my hope is that this is going to be a trial not of you guys, but of her. All we have to prove, all we have to show them is that the dagger pushed them out further than she was supposed to and stuck all their necks out. They can bring her to heel if that's what needs to happen. That one's kind of a dick. He points down the stairs. Try to let that slide. He's been alive for a long time.
Okay.
Is there anything that we should not mention? Like, are they going to be okay that an ears agents are here, or that a member of the Maggio is here?
Roll manipulate someone.
Can Kira help?
Can Kira help out?
Sure.
11 to help out.
I rolled an 8.
So you get +2. A 10.
Okay. The Maggio connection is going to have to be part of it, but if you want to keep quiet that you're in ears, I won't stop you.
Was it going to like hurt or help the case if either are mentioned, or?
Yeah, they barely like me.
Okay, so in case he's going to look at Kira, badges away. In case he's going to pocket her badge, like.
Oh, I haven't had my badge on me in a long time. I made cut out of character. They're tracking us with it. So Kira has not been having it on her for like a lot of the time.
Actually, Shades, you might want to go eyes out tonight.
Oh, not let them know that he's
No, do.
Oh, I see.
There's going to be a crowd where being something more than human will actually make them trust you more.
Really?
What if I don't show that and they just discover it on their own? I mean, would I be gloating too much to have to just show it off?
Hey man, I ain't gonna tell you how to play the game. I'm just saying.
Is my team going to be in danger here, Cross?
It's Chicago, Davis. We're all in danger.
I'm going to give my team just a signal, like, eyes open.
Diego spins his fake hand.
Mark, after hearing about that, just thinks back to when he had his wings.
Oh, buddy. So, you get downstairs. You are in kind of an auditorium, like standing room only, I think. And in front of you, about 5 to 6 feet up off the ground, there is a stage onto which Raptor is in the middle of climbing. Standing on the stage are 2 other women. One who's like really elegantly dressed with like a sort of snakeskin patterned pencil skirt. And then another who's like honestly kind of dressed probably a bit more like Delia, like sort of party goth. That one, last to arrive again, Ralph. It's Raptor! And I'm still here before the magistrate, so don't you even start with me, Cage. Well, then I suppose she looks out at the lot of you approaching the stage. We ought to begin. She holds out a hand, and a like robed figure wheels out a little cart and points it out towards you guys, reaches onto the top and flips open a laptop, the green camera light of which is on, and there's a sort of tiled Zoom meeting of a number of other people. Hard to see from where you are, but there is at least one that appears to just be fire. And then the hooded figure slinks back into the shadows. The party goth sort of leans her head back, and you can kind of see her ears migrate up to the top of her head and become a little furry. Her cheeks tuft out, and a like tail, big fluffy vanity tail comes out from behind her. The woman in the skirt sort of crouches down, and then as she stands back up, she's just got this like long snake's tail coiling underneath her. And Raptor, for his part, slicks his hair back, and his skin turns red and huge horns pop out from the front of his forehead. There's a dim and quiet chaos coming from the laptop, where a lot of people are starting to try to talk and be like, "Oh, are you? Can I hear? I can't quite. Are we doing? I can't see anybody. Are we doing this? What's?" And then from the center of the stage steps this like ancient, heavily robed old figure with that sort of white domino mask, and then huge, bushy sideburn beards coming from underneath it. And he walks out. "This emergency meeting of the Council of Many will come to order. Cross, I trust you are not wasting our time again." As it happens, we are here to discuss the actions of one of yours this time. Why don't you tell me what the Dagger has done, Theora? This is the part.
Yeah, I guess Theo step forward a little. The dagger has attempted, but been stopped for now at an assassination attempt against the Nessos family.
Question, Johnny. What is the part that would the greatest offense to them? Is it the assassination attempt or the breaking of the contract?
Roll plus sharp.
11?
It's who the contract was with in the first place.
Okay. I think Kira will pipe up. There was a contract put out on these Nessos individuals, but the contract was put by the Grey Hand himself.
Raptor goes, bullshit.
It's the truth.
I think the two women look at him and are like, what are you? That old fuck hasn't talked to anybody since 1908.
Can I put the information that I got into their heads?
Roll plus weird.
12.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone on stage and everyone on the Zoom call all shoot their eyes to look at you, Mark.
And then I slowly take off my glasses and say, we're not lying.
Okay. I think the snake-tailed woman will look to the guy in the mask and be like, this confirms our suspicions, magistrate. If the Grey Hand is making plays into here, and he'll hold up a hand and be like, calm, Padma. Where the Grey Hand is concerned, there is no next step, only the final step. Why you? He's looking at you, Mark. Why do you know this?
Because I'm trying to protect the people that I care about.
I think he's going to walk down some stairs from the stage, but there aren't any stairs. So he's just stepping down on the air. So what I want him to actually do...
How close is he to me?
Basically as close as you'll let him without backing away. He wants to put a hand on your face. I think he will stop as though asking permission, like mind meld position.
I kind of nod and kind of put my head down.
Okay. He puts a hand on your face, and the feeling you get is a combination of when you get drunk and you're talking and talking and talking and you're like, I don't know why I'm saying all this stuff, and the feeling of when you drink way more and you start throwing up. It feels like knowledge and feelings and information is vomiting out of you.
Does at any point of that do I feel as though something was accessed that I didn't want him to know about?
Roll plus weird. Hey, Mark.
5.
Well, here's the good news. You gain experience.
Would Theo's bracelet at all help protect Mark?
Well, it's not that he's necessarily doing anything to me other than just looking at all my thoughts. So it would just mean I probably couldn't stop him from doing that.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering because one of the things that Theo's bracelet can do is protect against possession.
What kind of thing do you not want him to have access to, Mark?
Remember a long time ago when I snapped that guy's neck previously, you said that I had done this before, and I was worried that whatever that before was, I don't even know about. If he discovered something in my past that I wasn't aware of that painted me as a bad, I'm afraid of my past. I'm afraid of my past self. Something like that.
Yep, that's clean. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a ton / shitload of sense. Only memories that identify as Mark Clayton. The fact that is a thing, he's gonna get. But any concrete information other than sort of why you're in this situation, why he can trust you, why you know that the Grey Hand was involved, that will be shielded by Theo's bracelet.
And does he know that it's being shielded by something? He knows something's there, but he doesn't have access to it.
He's the magistrate, Mark Clayton. He knows quite a lot of things. Question is, what information is he interested in? And I think right now, what he wants to know is whether your intelligence on the dagger is good. And I think he pulls his hand away from you and turns back.
Am I dizzy from that? What mental state? Where am I at?
Yeah, it feels like you just threw up your feelings. And he turns around and he addresses the people standing on the stage. Kind of does his best to speak to the Zoom call. That Dagny Willis is playing a very dangerous game. we cannot make such accusations and decisions without having her here to defend herself.
She shot me with a dart that was supposed to put some sort of binding curse on me.
I want him to do the same thing with his hand.
Just going around vacuuming the shit out of people's beds.
Kira also has a bracelet from Theo.
Who's next?
Yeah, Kira will walk forward and she'll say, What do you need?
I need to see.
Okay. She's gonna try to focus her thoughts very specifically on the dagger and everything that she knows about her. Try to open that up. I think she's trying to open up that like connection that she has, like that empathic connection that she kind of has with Anna, and try to just like expand it a little bit.
Okay, roll plus weird.
10.
With that roll, the very same thing happens to you as happens to Mark. And this is something that I think is just as unfamiliar to you as it is to him. I think you'll come out of it more okay, and you sort of withstand it, is a weird way to put it. That like Mark kind of got swept away in the wave. You're kind of riding it, and you're sort of like able to sort of walk through the memories with him in sort of an instant. And then he pulls his hand away and he says, "She didn't shoot you with that dart."
Who did that?
He walks you back in through the memory, and you can see one of her goons from outside firing the dart gun.
Okay. That they were working with her.
How is that any different?
When you look at the goons' eyes, they're little nebulas.
Well, the gray hand
is not the one on trial this day. Ralph, could you summon a fire gate? Raptor! I think he just like reaches out a hand towards him, and then he grabs his head and drops to his knees, and actually one of one of his horns like cracks. Fine, geez, fine. The next thing that is going to happen is that Raptor is going to summon with his hands, carve this fiery circle in the sky that's going to just like spread in and become this just huge oval. And then he'll make this yanking gesture in through it, cuffed in flames with fiery chains leading back in towards the oval of fire will be the dagger. And all she's going to say is, "I thought you'd get me sooner."
I kind of think like Anna under her breath is like, "And I thought you'd be dead already."
I think the magistrate is going to turn on her and be like, "Defend yourself, Dagger. These ones accuse you of dealing with a king from there." And she just looks at him with her like good eye. "What makes you think I have to take this shit anymore? Yeah, I was supposed to kill them. And I would have too if I didn't see a better deal come along. I still know who you are." She looks at you, Kira.
"And we know what you are."
"No, you don't."
"I know where you come from."
And then I think she's going to look back and forth between all the people on the stage and the magistrate and be like, "I'm sorry, they're not even of the people. Are we going to be accepting accusations from everyone now? I've seen, Dagny, what you did and tried to do. You know it's just soup up there with them, right? It's just a bunch of electricity. They're barely alive."
What is she talking about? They are barely alive. Humans?
Humans. They're just monkeys with delusions of grandeur.
Right. Monkeys. I want Kira to bring her wings out.
And you can make them dance if you know how to sing. There's some kind of commotion upstairs.
Can Casey investigate a monster?
What do you mean by that?
I want to investigate the dagger. So I have the touch. One of the reasons you took this kid, blah blah, you have kind of a feel for this sort of thing. You can roll plus weird to go with your gut about the current mystery. So I have one hold, and I can use it towards reading a bad situation or investigating a monster. I'm kind of wondering if I could investigate the dagger, I specifically want to know what would she be most afraid of?
Well, I can tell you she's not afraid of what's going on. She doesn't see herself in the position that everyone else seems to think she is. Do you think the hooded figure came back to rotate the laptop to face her? She is counting on backup. So if something happened to disrupt that, then I suppose that would scare her quite a bit. And you know what? Given the threat she made, and the way she phrased it, and the fact that you've seen this kind of thing before, make them dance if you know how to sing, you can keep a body moving even after it dies, if you have the knack. And if you've made a good enough deal, you can do it over and over and over again.
You said that there's a commotion upstairs?
I did say there's a commotion upstairs.
Okay, so I think that Casey's gonna tell Kira, like, stay here, I'm gonna handle what's going on upstairs.
Take Anna with you.
I'm gonna take Anna and my team.
On the stage, Raptor's gonna get up in her face and be like, "What are you talking about?" And then look at the magistrate and be like, "What is she talking about?" And then look at you guys who are leaving and be like, "You! What is she talking about?" He's pointing at probably you. Casey, Anna, and the team. "You! What is she talking about?"
I'm just gonna go.
I don't think you had these house guests planned. And Anna's just gonna start backing out of the room.
Okay.
I want Kira, if she can use, she hasn't used this in a while, Dark Negotiator on the dagger.
Okay.
Who gave you the better deal?
Roll it.
That's 8.
Ask your friend. She's nodding to Mark.
Oh. Can I do something?
I don't know. Can you?
Can the name that the Star King gave me for the dagger count as a sympathetic token?
Why don't you tell me what you're really asking?
What I'm really asking is if I could use magic on the dagger. What I want to do is I want to drain the blood from her.
Oh.
And to find out what secrets she has.
In front of these individuals.
Let me.
We are in the
check
middle
something.
of a fucking, like, mafia boss.
I don't want to drain all of her blood.
Just a little bit.
I'm a mosquito. We're gonna get killed.
I don't know that that's a thing you can do with use magic at all. Having that will give you +1 to do magic against her as at all, but only as concerns things that you can do with use magic.
So you're saying I can't drain her of blood?
Not all of it.
I don't want to drain all of it. I just want to weaken her. Because per what the Star King said, he said try the blood next time.
With respect, that's not what he meant. But okay, we'll use magic.
Would I be able to see her trying something?
Why don't you roll plus sharp?
10.
Honestly, I think that with that roll and what I know about what's going on with Mark, you are paying extra special attention to Theo down here. And yeah, she's getting that look in her eye. Theo, what did you roll?
11.
Mark, what did you want to try to do?
I grab and hold her hand. Calm her down, throw her off.
You have this magic locked and loaded, Theo. You rear back to toss it at this bitch, and instead you catch Mark Clayton. You look down at your arm, and at the end of it, I think he's got his sunglasses off and everything. And honestly, he cleans up okay.
That's not what you said earlier.
Upgraded to level 7.
Well, I didn't say he was dynamite, but
I'm a little rough around
just
the edges.
you see him making a little bit of an effort, even if it's somebody else's effort. It takes you by surprise.
Honestly, I think it just makes Theo angry. Like, more angry.
What?
Can I let this magic just, like, drop into the ground harmlessly? But I want to step back and away from Mark.
You want to pull your hand away and then just kind of let the spell dissipate. Okay.
What is it you want, Dagny?
Was that gonna be a little spell? Aren't you cute? You gotta be careful around me. You gotta keep one eye open.
I mentioned in Theo's head, I know you don't want me here, but she wants you to do something. Don't.
I think you hear back. I've had enough people telling me what I should and shouldn't do. And lock Mark out of my head.
That's okay.
Who was going upstairs?
Casey, Anna, and the team.
So the commotion upstairs clears up as you get closer to be a pretty full-on battle. There's like shouting and slashing and like squelch of blade in flesh. And then there's like a sort of wall of groaning, like many, many voices just going mindlessly living.
I see. Created a bunch of revenants.
Is this different than those zombies that we had encountered at the concert venue with the exploding boy?
They weren't really zombies. They were people. They were just possessed, I think. These are dead, right? Like, it's like the situation with Mrs. Grushevsky's husband.
It does sound a lot like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Can Casey roll read a bad situation to figure out? 9.
Do you have tactical genius?
I do.
Did you roll it plus sharp or plus cool?
I mean, I have a +3 for both stats, so...
Oh, and it's still a 9? How's that feel?
It feels like I have a pretty balanced character.
You can ask one question.
What's the best way to stop these revenants?
Take the heads off or use fire?
I'd also like to follow up that roll and that information to use Been Around the Block. When I discover that I need a particular item or knowledge to defeat my current opponent, roll plus sharp.
Okay.
10. On a 10 plus, it turns out I've got just the thing I need in my closet trunk or duffel bag. Does it happen since, like, the CBXT28, since it has a vortex interjects? Does that, like, just shoot flame bullets?
Well, I mean, technically, you do have just the thing.
Yeah.
And his name is Mark Clayton.
I also, if I do recall, doesn't Diego have a fucking flamethrower as a hand or something?
He has some shit in there, yeah.
Okay, Casey's gonna inform Anna and her team. Gotta take the heads off, and we need some fire.
Diego's hand is going to split right down the middle of like his palm, and the two halves will separate and fold back into his wrist. And then in the middle, there's like a fucking... All that's coming to mind is like the flame turbine from the Batmobile, but like hand-sized. Like a butane lighter turned up to 100. Just...
Question, Johnny. Anna has one of her like abjuration things that she can do is to like create a magical glyph that inflicts harm on a specific type of creature, as well as inflicting one additional effect, such as fire, frozen, restrained, life drain, whatever. Could she use something like that, like to maybe like enchant a weapon or something to like give it a fire property?
In the heat of this battle, if you could stay back and keep the things off of you for a while, then yeah, but not just like a like it's all of those things. I assume are like at least a minute of carving and dusting and abjurating.
If you're up for it, Casey's gonna send Talk down to get Mark, and Casey, Gia, and Diego can lay on covering fire if you want to do that.
Sure.
Okay. I think you decide it's probably a good thing that you did that, because when you go upstairs and actually like bust open these doors and get out, the way it's kind of set up is you come out of the cooler door into like the back kitchen, and then there's like sort of like the open kind of top half for maybe like 9 feet with like a 4-foot high wall in between you. And then you can see busting through the mostly glass exterior is, at first glance, maybe 12.5 of these like cracked, gray-skinned people things just slamming themselves into this glass, like ripping open chunks of flesh on the exposed glass.
I think just before Talk is like gone, I think he's gonna be like, And maybe Tommy, too, in werewolf form.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Mark, you feel a delicate but insistent tug at your now exquisite suit jacket.
I turn around. What?
I think you're going to be able to do some damage upstairs.
Okay. All right. Mark runs off.
And then I think Tuck is also going to then scurry over to Tommy and just be like, oh, wow, you're tall. We need muscle upstairs. Wait, Kira's not upstairs. He's going to look at you.
Yeah, go. We'll be up in a minute.
I'm thinking about what an odd thing that is to say.
Kira doesn't want to leave Theo alone.
Tommy doesn't want to leave Kira alone. Roll manipulate somebody, Kira.
11.
When you say, we'll be up in a minute, Tommy is going to wolf out and say, not if I do my job, and bound up the stairs.
Okay.
Question for you, Johnny. During the unaired crossover episode a while back, Talk got a red rifle. What does that do?
That is a question that has remained largely unanswered. I want you to roll plus sharp.
11.
It directly and exclusively damages blood.
Do you want us to cover you, Anna?
Yes, please. I'll be quick.
Okay. Like me and my team, we're going to just start taking shots.
All right. We'll kick some ass twice. So I think they're going to do a volley of shots. Anna's going to be doing abjuration. I then want to know what Mark and Tommy do. And then Anna will finish her thing.
I think Tommy is probably like, he's in wolf form. I think he's going for the heads. Like with his claws.
So the first roll is a 12 advanced move.
Fuck.
Ooh.
So the first one I'm assuming is them, as in the team. And then the second one is 8.
Well, that's embarrassing.
It's fine, I'd rather my team do great. Do you want me to roll plus tap for precise strike?
Sure.
9.
Remind me what that means.
1 harm.
Okay.
So a total of 4 harm if it's not a surprise.
It's not.
So it's 5 harm.
Okay. So I think Diego fires like a literal like baseball-sized ball of fire at one of these things, and it just lights up, and it starts vaguely and brainlessly panicking, and then Gia gets it right between the eyes, and that one drops. And then another one you shoot with your borrowed sniper rifle, and it like blows a big enough hole in the throat of one of these things to like essentially make its head come loose from the rest of its body, and you're like, whoo, baby.
How many of these things are there?
At least 16, probably more coming.
Anna was doing a thing.
Anna is doing her thing. Anna is trying to abjurate. What weapon are you trying to make fiery?
I mean, because she really only has 2 weapons, and it's her shotgun.
Okay.
Like, she shoots them and they erupt in fire.
I think that makes sense. So that volley happens. Tommy and Mark come bounding upstairs and do something. So you two come up and see the same thing. You come up into basically the kitchen, and you can see this like row of the Ears team set off and firing into the lobby. What do you / they want to do? Basically, Tommy's going to have to get in there. He's going to have to kind of go around and dive in here and start slashing to do his kind of damage. Mark, you have options.
Yeah, I think what I had said before, I think I want Tommy to like go for the fucking throats and try to like slash at their necks.
Roll kick some ass.
I already did it. I rolled a 12 advanced move.
Good damn. So I think what that means is that he'll like, I think he's going to grab one of these things to like claw into, and then also bite one of their heads off.
Yep.
So he takes down 2.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
You said these things are against a glass panel?
It's the glass storefront. So there's like the pull to open door that they're not pulling to open. They're just busting their way through. They've broken through, I think at this point, one of the big panel windows, and they're just walking in and letting the shards of glass scrape against their horrid gray skin.
How smart are they?
They're mad. What are you asking?
Like, do they have intention, or are they just inherently like...
They're kind of like zombies, I think.
They appear to have someone's intention. What are you really asking, Mark?
Well, instead of having all of them fight us, there is a door, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Draw a line on the ground where I open to there and they fall in.
That's going to take a bit of time.
Could Casey and Diego back him up?
Here's what I want. Casey, I want you to clock what Mark is trying to do and roll help out. And then Mark, I want you to roll act under pressure to do this uninterrupted. And then I want you to roll use magic to do it successfully.
Double sixes.
Nice.
Okay, and then another roll. 11.
Casey, what did you roll to help out?
So I have a question. I rolled a 9,
Uh-huh.
but I was wondering if, because I was going to try and do like jerry rig something.
What's
and
that
I have
mean?
a jack of all trades. This hunting thing isn't a pro ball career, and you've had to learn to make do. You get +1 to rolls involving jerry rigging, improvising equipment, stuff like that. So I was wondering if I could jerry rig something, which would boost that to a 10.
Tell me what you want to jerry rig.
I'm wondering if with Diego, since we're in Arby's near like the kitchen, if I could rip out a gas line and blast some gas towards the Reverend and use Diego's torch to just fire blast.
You're going to blow up the building.
What I think happens is you bust open a gas main, but then I think you pound the pipe such that it forms a nozzle to make it come out faster and thereby not blow up the fucking building. And then you grab Diego's arm.
Come here, Hook.
Captain. Light it up. Shoot the flame into the room, which actually is the thing that, like, I'm also imagining then, Mark, your hand, like, cutting a flaming seam into the floor. And then you see this, like, spout of fire come in, and you can use that. And so you, like, reach up and redirect it, sort of like Jacob did with the lightning last time, and shove it into the floor and shoot it out into a square. And I think, honestly, the floor within that square gives out. And another 7 of these dudes and 1 of the front desk nerds who had just been working here drop.
Can I save that kid?
How?
Wait. This whole floor, like, just...
Yeah, there's like a bunch of these things pouring in, and there's 2, like, ostensibly Arby's employees really holding their own.
Do you have any way, Anna? Or else I'm going to have... Can Diego...
Anna's busy.
That's right. Can Diego shoot his grappling hand and grab this kid?
Roll act under pressure.
Okay, I'm going to add 2 to it.
Yes, you are.
Lose the kid.
Oh, this is your fault, motherfucker! You're the one that opened this portal.
Can I roll help out too? Do I see this
Yes.
happen?
Mm-hmm.
And by help out, I mean 7.
10.
I don't know if that was evil laugh or...
I only have one kind of laugh, Mark Clayton. What I want that to mean is here is the scene. You see all of these revenants who you meant to drop into there, dropping into there. And then fighting them was one of these Arby's employees who definitely has a pair of daggers that you don't buy at the Renaissance Festival. So, and he's falling in as well. And you're like, oh no, I'll jump in and get him and fly him out.
Oh, fuck! Mark, you dumbass!
And so I think you jump in and grab him, and then at that moment remember, oh, right.
Shit!
And so you will, I think, unless you have any kind of armor, you will take 1 harm from the flailing revenants that are falling, reaching out and slashing at you. But then the next thing that will happen is wrapping around your and his chest will be Diego's go-go gadget hand.
I thought you were going to say some demon or some shit, and I was like, God damn it.
Nope. You didn't roll that bad, Mark Clayton. So yeah, you get pulled out. There's now a big hole in the middle of the lobby of this Arby's. And at this point, there's probably 5 of these things left.
Spartan kick the shit out of him.
Does Anna finish her thing yet?
Yes.
Cool. She's gonna her shotgun. She's gonna start shooting.
Roll it.
15.
Holy Jesus! The hell do you have in that thing?
Fucking fire magic.
I was gonna say, so like, does that do like extra damage on top of what she normally does with like her shotgun? Because her shotgun does 3 harm, but then the effect that I was trying to replicate is to create the glyph that inflicts harm on a specific type of creature, 3 harm magic as well as 1 additional effect.
So what I want that to mean is like you finally get up and you like square off and you see one of these things spin and turn at you and like hurl itself up on like the sneeze guard. You pull the fucking trigger and it 1 bursts into flames, 2 rockets back into Mark's hole.
Please rephrase that.
No, and 3 slams into another one and pushes it back as well.
Okay.
Damn, girl. Gonna be able to make one of those from me?
Maybe.
Well, I call dibs.
Yeah, okay. And she's gonna take a shot at any of the ones that are still up. How many are still left, like, outside of the hole?
3. Meanwhile, who's got eyes on the dagger?
It's Theo and Kira were the only ones down there.
Talk and cross.
Okay. While the gunshots are going off upstairs, she's looking real intently at her cuffs.
Mm-hmm. What was the deal exactly? What'd you get turning me in or killing me? That part was unclear.
She's still looking at her cuffs, and she says, "You have something I can use."
Oh, really? I'm really sick of people trying to use me.
She takes a big inhale in and straightens up, and her cuffs
Can I do something?
kind of fade away. What do you want to do?
So I think I want Kira to try to tap into the City of Blood, which I don't think we've talked about on the podcast really yet, but I know that there's supposed to be sort of like the elemental guardian with dominion over blood, and I'm pretty sure that they're still in Kira's head.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I want to reach out to whatever that is and slash at her good eye.
I think everything appears to freeze, and yeah, you can see a distant crimson city in your mind. And the city says, "All right, what are we doing here?"
She wants something from me.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care either. I just want to make her hurt.
That I like.
Good. Does she see that these cuffs are like free now, right? I want to try to create like barbs going through her to restrain her where she stands.
Blood barbs?
Blood barbs.
Whose blood?
Could it be hers?
That's not how this works.
I'll do mine then.
It's a whole room full of people down here, Kira Ashwood. Why are you so limited? Bags of blood down here.
Can I use mine?
It's gonna hurt.
You know what? Actually, can I act under pressure to see if I resist getting blood from somebody else?
Is Theo's blood still tainted?
That's a really good idea. And what do
you mean?
I know what you mean. I mean, not no. Her hand is still gray.
Tainted blood. Oh.
Sometimes I feel I have a hand of gray.
Oh my god!
What did you roll for act under pressure, Kira?
She rolled a 13. Advance move.
It remains your choice whose blood to use.
Okay. I think for right now, because she's been trying to repress her anger, she will use her blood.
I mean, I won't say no. It's fine blood.
Thanks.
So, 2 things are going to happen. Oh, you're not going to like this.
Okay.
When this is happening, can Theo open her third eye and roll read a bad situation?
Oh.
Yes, she won't be able to stop anything, though.
That's fine. 12. So I get 4 questions.
Yep.
I'm going to ask those questions after Kira does her thing, if I can.
Okay. So, Jesus fucking Christ. They're going to come out of you like spiky vines of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting stabbed in reverse. And it hurts like hell.
Probably reminds her of when she sprouted wings.
Honestly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because there's like a horrible god thing that doesn't give a shit about her helping her do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they like snake through the air, pierce through the dagger's skin, and like even one of them kind of like whirls around her back and gets her through, I think, through the head and comes out her good eye.
Okay.
Oh, this is Mortal Kombat shit.
She's defo still alive and big furious.
Did I need to like roll anything for that, or is that just happens?
I thought we already had you roll for that.
Not
and then it was
not
just,
use magic. That was the act under pressure.
well, why don't you roll use magic to see how horrible it is for you?
15.
God damn! Holy fuck!
Well, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that you only, the bad news is that you take 2 harm.
Okay. One of my new moves that I have as the initiate is that old black magic. When you use magic, you can ask a question from the investigate a mystery move as your effect. So I wondered if I could do that on top of what I'm doing.
What do you want to know?
What do you want with my blood?
Well played.
I don't know what words she would actually use, but I can tell you how I would answer the question. To her, it's currency. Someone stronger than her wants it, and she can use that as a bargaining chip. With her now comparatively good eye, she's going to take all of the magic that she sucked in from her cuffs and shoot that fire at you like a beam.
Okay. Can Kira use her last woman with a plan hold to dodge out of the way?
Yes.
Okay.
And only that.
Yep.
Can I ask my 4 questions?
Sure.
What's the biggest threat?
Rex.
What is a danger we haven't noticed yet?
In a way, the magistrate, for the most part, the dangers are clear to you.
Any invisible things that Theo can see?
Leth is on the Zoom call. Tiff's ex.
Laura, what did Jonny say about Leth before?
Pretty sure that was for my dark past roll, and I think it was sort of just I had asked who could help us here, so she could help us with the council, I suppose.
What's most vulnerable to us?
The Revenant's upstairs.
How can we cut off the dagger's power without killing her?
Administratively, you can't. The magistrate could.
I guess, can Theo step up and address the council? Address the magistrate?
Like in the last 10 minutes of a coming-of-age film? Please do stand up on a soapbox, Theora Nessos.
I really don't like all of this,
Attention? Excitement? Adoration?
this pressure. Don't think Theo is very good at this.
Your big sis is here to help.
Great.
With her fucking blood tendrils.
You're doing great, honey.
With these like forearm-sized blood tendrils sticking into this woman on the stage.
You're doing great.
You got this. Blink, blink. Theo.
Magistrate, you have seen the truth from my 2 friends, and you have seen the truth before you in the form of Agnes, Luna, Bertrand, Bailey's actions of rising against the council, visitors of Chicago, and the Maggio. I would not stand for this slow due process, and I do demand a sentence now.
The oval of fire behind her diminishes. The magistrate sort of straightens. What sentence do you demand? Maggio?
I think for an individual thus as her, seeking power, seeking more power, she should be stripped of all power. She should be a monkey on a string.
I do think Raptor's gonna go ice cold. I think Cage is gonna hide her eyes. And I think it's all Padma can do to not burst into applause. By what right do you dictate this sentence? And I want you to choose between, by right of the wronged, that she was going to kill me, and it is now my responsibility to determine her punishment. By right of blood, because I am Magiona, I should be able to do this. Or by the light of the stars, that you now have the Greyhand's favor, not her. Because you've been contacted and more or less recruited by the Star King. Right of wronged, right of blood, right of the stars. Choose why you get to decide her fate.
By right of blood. By right that I am Maggio. I am the centaur. I am Nessos. That is the right that I am calling in this court. Make her powerless. Make her pay for the crimes that she committed. Or Maggio will be hearing of this.
Roll manipulate someone.
So I rolled a 9.
Is that the end of that sentence?
No. I think I want to use a luck point.
Okay.
Because Theo's putting everything behind this, and I think that, like, this is her decision. Not only is she claiming this right, I think she's now claiming this identity.
She is Nessos. How the little centaur has grown. The magistrate will nod to set the scene. The dagger is, like, more or less perforated by these blood tendrils coming out of Kira. And so I think the magistrate will nod to Cage the cat girl and Padma the Naga, who will, like, sidle up and grab her by both arms. He will nod to you, Kira. You sort of get to, like, let her go. Do you do that?
I'll let her go, but as the barbs are going out, I want to extend them just a little bit.
Figured. And he is going to place a hand on her head, on the side of her head, and then rear back a hand, and then, in a flash, pluck out her empty eye. Wander the earth, dagger. See nothing, know nothing, be nothing. And then he just, like, throws her onto the stage. This meeting of the Council of Many is adjourned.
Can I ask a question? Like, what's the power scale between the council and the Maggio? Is one more powerful than the other, or is it like a regional thing?
I think it's probably on par. Honestly, I feel like it's like the Council of Many is to the United Nations as the Maggio is to, like, the NASDAQ. Like, they're both really powerful. They don't have a lot of cross-pollination. Like, the Council of Many is more a sort of proper governing body, whereas the Maggio is like a business conglomerate.
I'm wondering if Theo could...
You want to see?
No. Wondering if Theo could interrupt the magistrates, like, saying that their meeting is concluded by, like, stomping her, like, staff on the ground, maybe causing it just to grab the attention.
At least Raptor will go, what the shit? Anytime, half pint.
I want Theo to be like, you should give that eye to the Maggio for penance of letting this get out of your control. I think the Maggio should be offered forgiveness in form of that power.
And so the Maggio shall. The magistrate will hold out the eye to his hooded, robed attendant and say the artifact in question will be delivered unto the Maggio by right of blood.
You said Theo was holding out the staff?
Mm-hmm.
Does Kira see the gray hand now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just want to make a note of that.
Question, is it the right hand or the left hand? The right hand? If Theo could, walk up to, accept this, I think that Theo's going to accept it using the gray hand.
And what I'm saying to you is that they are agreeing to not to turn it over to you, but to turn it over to the Maggio, unless you push harder and convince them.
I see it only fit that it be given to those who the offense was towards directly to bring to the Maggio.
You claim 2 rights.
I am Nessos, which means I am Maggio.
Roll manipulate someone.
Boy.
What did you roll?
Did you roll a luck point?
Can I use another one?
Technically, there's no limit, except for the limit that there is forever.
So for the listeners, I rolled double ones, which means I rolled a 4, but Theo's going to use a luck point.
Okay. Then I think he'll hand the eye off to his robed companion, gesture towards you. The robed companion will hover towards you and offer as a communion wafer this blank, dead, white eye. And the magistrate will say, "We offer with respect."
Theo will just take it.
I think inspired by Mark Clayton, you think it would be pretty cool to just shove it in your eye.
Question, what would my dad do?
Roll plus sharp.
5.
Oh.
Puts me in a tough position. Your dad loved magic. Loves magic. The end.
I think Theo's just gonna take it and pocket it.
Okay.
I think Kira's blood barbs will sort of just come in, but then I do think I want her to go over to the dagger and sort of crouch down in front of her.
Looks like you made a deal with the wrong person.
She lifts up her head sightlessly because she's now missing both eyes. And who did you make a deal with?
Keep laughing, Agnes. I'm told that your senses will adjust soon. I suspect you're going to get very good at listening to the sound of your own voice. And she'll go back away and go over towards where Theo is.
Okay. All right, Mark, Anna, Casey, and the team, and Tommy finish tearing down the revenants upstairs.
Can Casey snag some army sandwiches from the back? Hey, I promised Diego.
You know what? Sure. Going for it with a fucking sando. All right. If there's nothing else, the magistrate will call this meeting of the Council of Many adjourned.
Theo will bow.
And then he will sort of turn around and present something to his hooded companion. And then the guy in the hood will take the mask from him. And then the man will just slump lifelessly to the stage. And you can see as he falls and faces you that his nose and eyes and the whole top half of his face is just torn off. And then the hooded guy puts the mask into his sleeves and slinks off into the shadows.
We should probably get out of here.
Yeah.
The cat girl says, "Well, don't think it hasn't been a little slice of heaven." Because it hasn't.
Under better circumstances, maybe.
Theo will rejoin Talk and Cross. I think maybe actually just walk past them and go upstairs.
Okay.
Is she ignoring Kira?
No, she's trying to stay calm. She's trying to save face in front of the rest of the present council.
Mm-hmm. Kira will follow after Theo. Yeah, I don't know. As they're walking back upstairs or something, I think Kira would just say to Theo, "What are you going to do with it?"
I don't know. I think that when Casey sees Theo and Talk and Kira and Cross come up, Don't worry about it, guys. Got it covered here.
The floor is on fire. There is blood everywhere. There's definitely still a gas leak that Diego is probably trying to patch.
Mm-hmm. And I made a super awesome gun. How did downstairs go?
I think Kira just kind of looks to Theo and says, "Great." Theo wrapped it up really nice.
They took the dagger's powers away by order of the Maggio.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way outside, like safely to get out of the building?
Yeah, there's a big ass broken window right out front.
Well, I just didn't know if the hole to there was still there.
Oh, I am imagining that sort of mark allowed that to shut. But as it did, Mark, roll plus weird.
Last roll of the night is the worst. 1-1.
Never mind. Everything, it seemed normal. It seemed really weird. It just looked like they were falling into just fucking nothing.
So what you're saying is Lowry's now on this side.
What I'm saying is nothing.
I think Theo's going to go outside, around a corner, get it like a little, like around the corner of the building, maybe like a little bit of privacy, and throw up.
Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And then I think she's gonna call Jacob.
What happened? Are you okay? Is it over? Are you okay? What happened?
It's over. The dagger has been stripped of her power.
And are you okay?
I don't think I can stay here with you.
What is that? What do you mean?
I'm Maggio, Jacob. It's gonna keep following me.
I'm trying to build us a staircase out. It doesn't have to.
And I think I just set it on fire.
What did you do?
By right of blood.
No.
I demanded that the dagger
Theo.
be stripped of her power.
No.
And that her power be turned over to the Maggio.
For me. I don't think you can stay here with me.
I'll send Kira to let you out, and Casey will bring me back to your place to get my stuff, and I'll leave today. You won't have to see me.
Good.
Can Kira try to find Theo at this point? I want Kira to kind of like walk around like the corner, hopefully, and find Theo. First of all, are you crying? Yeah. I think Kira just sort of kind of stumbles on this scene and is like,
Theo is like trembling. I think that she's like seconds away from collapsing on the ground.
Yeah, Kira just doesn't say anything. She just walks over and she just pulls you into a hug. And I think she's kind of like doing that thing where like she kind of like has her hand on like your head and is like, it's okay.
You don't have to pretend.
What happened?
I'm Nessos. I'm part of the Maggio. I destroy everything that I touch.
Theo, that's not true.
I made a choice though. Gave up what I wanted.
And what was that?
Having a normal life. Living here with Jacob in Chicago. Being with somebody who I thought was like me. But the gray hand, he orchestrated it. He made it happen, and it makes me sick.
We're gonna get him back. He doesn't get to fuck with us.
I'm sorry, Kira. I'm sorry I sent you up to Jacob and...
Do not apologize to me. You know I would do anything for you. And the gray hand knows that.
I should have stopped you.
No. If you tried, I wouldn't have listened. He's your brother. That makes him important to me too, in a weird way.
I don't think he is anymore.
Yes, he is.
I'm gonna need you to go to Crosses and let him out. And I'm gonna ask Casey to take me to Jacob's apartment so I can get my stuff, and I'm coming home to you with you guys. Jacob doesn't want to see me. He'll say it forever.
No, he's not going to.
If I was in his shoes, I would.
Forever is a very long time, Theo. And this This just happened. And also today, Jacob was willing to do whatever he could to save you.
Because he thought I was like him.
No, because you're his sister and he loves you, Theo. There's a difference.
No, Kira. You and I are sisters. And I don't think Theo can say anything more. Just like hugs you and like cries.
Yeah, Kira will just hold her for a bit.
No.
Casey will say to Mark, "That was a cool trick. Never really seen you do that before."
Opening a hole to another place?
Opening a hole to there. Is there any negative implications to that?
I mean, he did it to save other people and we didn't have to deal with it. I think it's fine. I closed it up pretty quickly, so don't think anything came through.
Reflects on that 5 roll.
Let's not do that again, because all I really needed you to do is use your fiery eyes to kill some reverence. Damn it. Revenants.
Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. It just at the time it seemed like a quick way to solve it.
Mark Clayton, you reckless bitch. So here's what I need to know. You have some things to figure out. The very next thing I need to know, who's going where right now?
To feed my bird. Just kidding.
Oh my fucking god. Why don't you call Larissa?
It has been 0 episodes. I think, well, she'll do what Theo had asked and she'll go get Jacob. Maybe take Tommy with her.
Okay.
Say Cross is probably going to have to go with
Yep.
you. I feel like since like Theo's distracting me, Casey's just like not unhinged, but just going off the wall, like bagging up a bunch of Arby's to take on the.
I was gonna say I feel like Anna's maybe helping.
Yeah. Casey's bags of sandwiches, bags of French fries, some mozzarella sticks. I think when Anna and like Casey are just bagging up Arby's food.
I feel like, do you have like a bag or something?
Yeah, I'm choosing Arby's bags.
I think like from across the room, Anna's like, Kobe?
Kobe. Can we roll this, please?
Yeah. I want a couple of act under pressure rolls. Anna roll act under pressure, Casey roll help out.
9.
13.
Sick.
Nice.
Advanced move.
So while that's happening, Kira and Tommy go with Cross to his apartment building. You go into the elevator, go up to the 7th floor. It opens out. It's all metal. Doors close behind you. And you sort of notice as you walk over to Jacob, you look around and Cross isn't with you.
Okay.
And you look back at the door to the elevator, and like a big black slab falls down in front of it. You didn't think the director was going to just let you walk out of here, did you? Executive producer Jonny Grubb. This has been the Monsters Playbook, featuring
John Wander as Mark Clayton.
Lauren Johnson as Anna and Kira Ashwood.
Miah Detjen as Casey Davis and Theo Nessos.
and Jonny Grubb as literally everybody else. Our theme song is by me, Jonny Grubb. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Miah Detjen and edited by Miah Detjen and Lauren Johnson. If you liked this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Monsters Playbook, and on Twitter at Monster Playbook, and on Web 1.0 at monstersplaybook.com. And come hang out with us on Discord. We're fun. We'll see you next episode where, as always, I'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening. I don't even want to describe how he's dressed. I want to describe how the scene plays in the TV show version of this, which is that he walks out, the camera is over his shoulder, and all you see is him just like walking and like sort of straightening up and running a hand through his hair and going, "How do I look?" And just about everybody goes.
Casey rolls her eyes.
Mark lets out a fart.
Mark, can you fucking stop?
Mark, take a pill, dude. Not good with people, are ya?
Was he not good with people too?
I mean, not after.
After what?
After I wrecked him.
Oh my god.
I don't know what's going on over there. I'm sorry.
Two more strikes and I'm putting you in the waiting room.
Blink, blink.
Horny jail.